Hey everyone, so in this video I'm going to talk to you about how to use the DMX Material tool that we've got inside of our DMX Tools project. Let's just get into it. So first of all, what I've done, let's go into the folder. I've taken my DMX Material control actor here and just brought into the scene, and so we've got this guy, as you can see. If you look on the right hand side, we have a number of settings here. So we have procedural, we have number of fixtures, total number of fixtures, the render target to write to, your lens texture, and the strip length. So I'll go through and explain how all of these things work. So first of all, what this tool does is it allows you to create a dynamic material that will actually respond to DMX, to respond to incoming DMX. So you can set up essentially like a lens texture that you want, and say you have like an array of a bunch of different lights. Instead of creating a new blueprint for every single one of those lights, you can just use a material, and it's way faster, way more efficient. So let's get into it here. So if we click on our actor that we've added, let's first start off with checking our procedural box. So this actually changes the actor to be entirely procedurally generated. So right now you don't see anything, but if I add like a couple of, say, let's see, we want, I don't know, 5 fixtures, right? So you can automatically see that this generates 5 different planes, each of which is assigned a dynamic material. And what we can do is actually control each one of these elements. How we can do that is, first we need to make sure that we have a DMX fixture patch assigned to this object. So we have a DMX component here, and I've gone through and set up my DMX library to be my DMX material library, and my fixture patch to be my material fixture patch. So that's step one. Next thing to do is, I guess, set your total number of fixtures. I've already set it to 5, so we're good there. From there, it should just take in the DMX that is assigned to this fixture patch, and then depending on the number of fixtures that you have assigned to it, it will just increment and consecutively essentially place other patches along the universe. So let me just give you an example. So let's first look at inside of our fixture type that I have assigned for the object. We have red, green, blue, and dimmer, or our intensity. So this actually occupies, so each one is actually occupying 5 channels. So if I play right now, we're going to get this. And then let's bring in the DMX. So I've set it to my universe 1, which is the same as my library controller. If I hit enable, you can see they automatically all go to black. So I'm going to first bring up my dimmer control, which is on channel 4. You can see nothing happens yet. That's because we don't have any color. And so then if I bring up the other channels, we also get some cool colors. So every 4 channels is a dimmer. So now on channel 8, for instance, this would be the dimmer for the next fixture panel. And there we go. We've got number 2. And then let's do it for the other ones as well. So if I go down to 12, for instance, bring that up, and now we got this guy. And we can increase the intensity, and so on and so forth. So up until channel 20. So yeah, that's how the procedural material works. You can look into the blueprints and see what's actually happening. But let's go on to the static material. So this is in the case that you have like a static mesh that you import, and you want to just apply a material to it and affect that with DMX. Because, you know, this is like the procedural is really only beneficial if you have like a line like this. So I'm going to stop my game here, and we're going to click on it, and I'm going to, whoops, got the wrong one, this guy, and uncheck procedural. So now, total number of fixtures, I don't know, let's make it like 12 fixtures. And then So we can actually have this not only on one axis, but we can have a multi-axis thing going here. So let's say there's like 4 fixtures per row. So now we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, cool thing here is that we can actually set our texture that we want. So the lens texture that we would like for our light, for instance, or it could be anything else. Like, I don't know, it doesn't have to be lenses. Maybe you want to have, for instance, like emoticons, like smiley faces or whatever. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to take my texture, drag it into my lens texture here. And essentially what's happening is it's going through and it's duplicating this texture into a render target a bunch of times and then assigning that to a material as a material parameter. So let me show you how that works. So if we press play, we're going to get 0 again. We're going to get nothing. And that's because we're sending out everything on 0. But if I bring up my intensity channel again, now you can see we actually start to get a little bit of the smiley face. And so it just adds the RGB depending on the colors of the texture itself. So for instance, if I bring up the red, it's going to be all red. If I bring up the green, it adds just the green that's visible in that texture. So if you want everything to be even, you're going to want to use a white texture. A white texture will give you an even distribution of red, green, and blue. And so yeah, so you can go through, for instance, if I set this all to dynamic, you can see we actually will have 12 different smiley faces, all on a single texture, being controlled entirely by DMX. So that reaches the end, it all goes back to 0, and then they start to fade in again. So that's pretty much how it works. Feel free to look through the blueprints and play around with it. It's pretty cool. And yeah, so that's the DMX Material tool.